Stephen Blaine, your host with White Labs, an e-commerce internet marketing agency. Today's guest is Chisholm.
How's it going?
Feel free to let our viewers know a little bit more about yourself and your background.
Sure. Yeah, I'm Chisholm Weaver. I'm one of the co-founders and CEO of Blue Standard and Betterbone. You probably heard more about our dog chews, Betterbone, than any of our other products. But fundamentally, we're a material science company that's kind of bridging the gap between material science and consumer packaged goods, and basically finding soft spots in retail or in segments of the market that could use more sustainable, circular, recycled materials. Specifically, our dog chew material is unique and proprietary to the industry. We're trying to replace materials like nylon, whereas most industry standard materials are nylon or rawhide. It's a really unique material we've actually had for about 15 years, and we're using it in different spaces. Really, during the pandemic, we looked at our portfolio of products and materials and figured it actually was really well suited for dog chews. And we spent the last 3.5 years really refining it for that. And it's kind of how we operate. Take our time, we're product first, and try to make sure that what we're providing is actually going to be a reliable premium alternative to kind of what's out there in the industry. Also, awesome. A line of planter pots that we do the same thing with. So.
Awesome. Great. What inspired you to create the brand?
So really it was kind of the brainchild of a couple other gentlemen I actually met at trade shows in my other life. And we became good friends. They're a group of guys out of Germany, out of Stuttgart. And that's really where all of our manufacturing is done. It's either done in Hamburg or Stuttgart or Croatia, specifically for the dog chews. And all of our lab is located in Stuttgart as well, and Reutling. So they wanted to kind of come across and enter the U.S. market. They attempted to do that in a B2B sense, because that's really our background is manufacturing for large retailers. So taking their waste streams, specifically fabric waste streams from high-end retailers, and turning those into either their hangers, mannequins, stuff like that. So that's our background. And they were like, hey, we have all this great technology and really neat feedstock. Let's try to make consumer packaged goods. And I was fortunate to be in the right place at the right time and make the right friends. So I think that was
awesome. Helpful. What is your who? I mean, I feel like I know who your target audience would be, but who do you feel is your target audience? Do you know?
Probably. Yeah, specifically for the dog chews is, it's I think it may be ridiculous to say. Here you go. Yeah, it's you, Steve.
He came right over.
More importantly, him. Oh, yeah. He's great. Yeah, I'll bring my dog in here in a little bit. She's not a problem. She's indifferent towards me sometimes. She loves my wife. Fair enough. Yeah, actually, it's really most dog owners, but we're really tailoring it to dog owners that are gearing up and spending the money on specialized dog foods and really care more about the natural aspect. Most people do. Most people love their dogs more than they love their spouses and their kids. And you find that especially when you're out at like some of the smaller trade shows and smaller conferences, when you get people really talking to you about it. And they're spending all this money on dog food, and then there's really no good alternative for chews, where we realize that our material really does offer that, and our price point is exactly the same as the main competitor in the market. So we're not even asking for a premium for something that's natural and sustainable, which I think is really important for us as a company and our success, is that there's usually that sustainability tax or that natural tax. Yeah, our margins could be healthier if we went about that, but I don't think we'd get the market acceptance that we've enjoyed. So
awesome. What makes you different, or my favorite thing, better than your competitors?
Yeah. So really it's our material.
Yeah.
I think when you first approach the brand, I think we have decent branding. It's probably our weakest point is branding. We're really, like I said, product first. So the material is the most important aspect of what we do here at Betterbone. So the material is primarily made of cellulose and vegetable oil, mainly sugarcane oil, or really you can use any grass-based oil. And we use a form of fermentation actually to create a hard material. And it's primarily cellulose. It's up to 70 to 80% cellulose. And with that, the material is food grade, it's GMO free, it's hypoallergenic. And because of the use of cellulose, we can actually control the densities. We have a trade show coming up in 3 weeks in Orlando, and we're releasing our third density. We're really able to kind of tailor the material to your dog's needs. So we have a
Awesome.
soft, medium, and a hard. The hard is obviously super durable. That's for really aggressive chewers. That is for dogs and owners that are already using nylon products. So we made that actually just as hard as nylon. That's just because people are conditioned to that. Then we have our medium and our soft. So our soft is great for like teething puppies and older dogs, and
Great.
really for pet owners who are concerned with dental integrity. And then the medium kind of strikes a nice balance between durability and being safer on teeth. Now, of course, anytime your dog's chewing on anything, we're trying to provide the consumer with that option of, and I really want something, for my dog to chew on, but I don't want it to be nylon, petroleum plastic, and I don't want it to be chemical laden rawhides. I need something different for my dog, something healthier, safer. And our material is also safe to ingest. We pass all EU regulations on children's toys actually for the materials. So that means no carcinogens, no mutagens, nothing that could potentially be harmful to pretty much any mammal, dogs, humans alike. So it's a rather unique solution, I think, to the market. And then we can add how we flavor it is actually with dog food. Currently, we're working on some better solutions, but we actually take dehydrated beef dog food, and the bone is about 1% beef dog food by weight. So it's not some weird flavoring. It's not some odd compound or some, natural in quotations. It's like, no, it's dog food.
That's
Shelf
great.
stable because it gets trapped in the material, so it really doesn't oxidize. So I think it's a pretty cool and unique solution, and it seems to be resonating. So
Sure. I mean, what are you all online, or are you in stores as well?
nope, we're going to be in about 1,000 stores by April.
Awesome.
So we've taken kind of the omni-channel approach, which is a heavier lift than
Yeah.
other times, and it's really just we're at a point now where we just can't, like, production is our biggest thing. Do I have enough bones to service what the needs are? Amazon has really taken off like wildfire. Chewy has done really well for us, but our launch was in March of last year to the broader market.
Okay.
And this will be kind of our 1 year anniversary.
Awesome.
And at that first trade show, we picked up Target, which we'll be launching actually on Target.com here on June 1st.
Great.
And then hopefully that kind of expands into a couple hundred stores by the end of the year. I mean, Target, we're going to be a Petco, a Pet Food Express, Mud Bay. So a lot of like really great retailers. Now it's selling's over. The production is the hard part.
That's awesome. How many products do you have, and what's your best selling product?
Sure. So right now we have 8 SKUs, and that's
Great.
really been a big hurdle for us. It's kept it simple, I think, for customers and retailers. But we hear a lot like from some of the larger retailers, like, look, we'd love to give you a bigger space, but you don't have enough SKUs to fill the amount of space on the shelf that I need you to, which is fair. And so
Yeah.
we've spent the last year. We're going to be launching 10 new SKUs at Global Pet Expo. And so we'll have 18 in total. And I think that really is going to make it easier for some of the bigger retailers to accept us. Not that we've had a lot of trouble, but that'll be helpful. And really our best sellers up to this point have been our super hard bones. They provide a lot of value from a cost perspective because they do last a long time. They're a natural alternative to nylon, and we're right in line with a high-end nylon product. It's done very well for us. And the soft
Awesome.
bones, they get a lot of traction in the vet circles because vets are looking for something that's a bit safer on teeth, that is safer to ingest. So it's been good.
Awesome. Well, that's great. I mean, most of our viewers are entrepreneurs like yourself. What are
Right.
some challenges you faced in the past few years, and how did you overcome them?
Wasted ad spend, wasted PR, branding. For us, I think we have the hard part down, fortunately, which is really high quality product with a lot of experience. Obviously, I'm not the material scientist. The group that I work with, my business partners, they have collectively about 75 years of material science and more importantly, manufacturing at scale. And because it's not a software company or something like that, inventory management has been a steep learning curve. bringing new products to market and changing packaging and going through,
Yeah.
Even just as something as simple as changing an article number can be an absolute nightmare. If I had hindsight 2020, it'd be really getting some of those simple things that you think are going to be easy to swap and not spending a ton of money on PR or marketing. It was useful to get, like, why did we launch in the US and not in Europe if we're based in Europe, which we're launching in Europe in May? Well, Americans give better feedback. Europeans are kind of like, they're indifferent, or even if they loved what you did, they actually use the scale appropriately. So if it's like everything was on par, they give you a 3 out of 5. Whereas Americans are either going to tell you you're the worst or tell you you're the best, and are loud about it. And so that helped us really refine the product. But yeah, how much money have we wasted on branding and trying to shoestring the wrong things and spending money in the wrong places. I would say wait on PR and wait on ad spend until you really have the product fleshed out.
Fair.
Yeah.
What's your future plan for the brand? I know you have a lot coming up here with multiple stores, but what's your future plan?
Yeah, I think it's land and grow, pretty much a land and expand model for us this year. I think we've really hit the ground running with the retailers that we have. We're really doing well in pet specialty. I've got distributors in Canada, Mexico, Indonesia, the UK, and Ireland. And so it's ultimately just balancing act of cash and where your cash should go. And ultimately, it's just I need a lot of bones. So it really answers that question preemptively for me. And so this year, it's really just not screwing up, right? It's making sure that our quality is there. I'll tell you, but it's probably a blatant lie. Like, I don't want any more retailers because I really just want to be successful in what we do have.
Huh?
But of course, if somebody comes to the table and says, hey, I want your product and we want to give you this space, of course, we're going to do our best to facilitate that. It's just measuring expectations. We have a grocery brand, though, that we'll be releasing. We have a lot of interest from grocery, but there's an odd dynamic. Like, my background is not pet specialty, but there's an odd dynamic between pet specialty and grocery, and they don't always play nice in the sandbox. So we're going to be developing another adjacent brand, same material, different molds, different shapes, different flavors, stuff like that we'll be releasing to them, because we've got a lot of opportunities there. So really just trying not to screw up this year.
Hey, that's a fair answer.
That's in life too.
For sure. I'm with you there. You talked about some things that weren't successful. What are some successful activities you've done to promote the brand?
Trade shows really have been a huge advantage, and then picking the right partners. So we just did a small raise with some individuals who come from the pet industry, but were willing to accept some of our other projects. So we do have other projects other than the dog chews, and they've been worth their weight in golds. And not everybody's in a position or wants to have partners, but I will say, going into new industries that I didn't really have a lot of insight into, it's been an incredible opportunity. And spending money on and spending the time to refine the product before you really get it out in front of too many people and ruin a brand before it's really getting off the ground. So taking time to get the product right first. It's expensive. It sucks. Yeah. You want to sell. Like, I'm a sales guy for sure in my heart, and it's tough to sit there and not see sales hockey sticking. And you're lucky if they do. That's not always the case that you're going to get. But I would say take your time, refine the product, and then when it's ready, just be confident. I'm up at night still. Every night, like, oh my God, like, what if the product doesn't work? And I'm proven wrong every day, thank God. But I think also running a business scared is a little helpful. Always have that drive and motivation is helpful.
Awesome. Is there anything else that you want our viewers to know about you, yourself, your brand, anything else that I've missed that you want viewers to know?
Yeah, so we're a little bit more than a dog chew business. If you have any interesting projects or products, direct-to-consumer products that you're looking for help with, we do consulting. We do have access to lots of really amazing feedstocks, know how to work with them. The parent brand is Blue Standard. We have a couple amazing sister companies that we work with. You're gonna continue to see us grow within consumer products. We have a line of planter pots called repots. That's at repots.com. Those are actually made out of fashion waste. We have another line of them made out of commercial fishing nets. So really trying to tell great stories with premium products at competitive pricing and entering the market. Hopefully you see a lot more of us.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the White Pod, and your story's great and your brand is awesome. Thank you.
Thanks. I appreciate it.